This is Woody, and that was my junk. This is one of the videos I've been most excited about bringing to you. It's an SIV course, that's the French term. They call it a maneuvers course here in America. I have coined the phrase disaster recovery course, but that doesn't really fit because we do some acrobatics too. Anyway, it's a big deal to me. So, if you remember from a previous video, I did my first SATs. I'm going to show you this clip again. This is a SAT. Look at that. Look at that. A SAT. I'm doing a SAT right now. What it stands for is not important. It's Safety Acrobatic Team, the people that invented it. But what it signifies to me at the time was like the entry into, like, I don't know, the cool kids group. So this isn't me, but this is a video like me. This is what I'm trying to do. This guy's about to do a SAT. And check it out. The wing is going forward, and the pilot is spinning around backwards. Like the center point is the lines connecting the wing and the pilot. It's the coolest thing. And I can kind of sort of do them. I'm going to circle back to that. But in a second, you're going to see it from the pilot's point of view. This is what it looks like when you do them. What I haven't really broadcast, and I didn't hide it either. I showed some of my attempts. But my cool kids card was revoked. If I did maybe 10 attempts at SATs, I succeeded at 2 or 2 out of 12 or something like that. Mostly I was getting round spirals, and I was kind of sometimes getting what they call a coconut spin, which is it's not a good thing to do if you're not doing it on purpose. And I wasn't. So I was just trying to sort of work out like how I can get my SAT entries cleaned up. If I had one main goal from this SIV course, it was to be able to enter SATs cleanly. So this is my first SAT of the day. In this clip, you don't have Chris Santacroce's voice, but he's helping me with some of the timing on this. He's telling me when to pull and just how to get it sort of worked out. And if you'll notice, I kill it. I kill it. This is awesome. I do it. I do it great. I do it just like I meant to. As a matter of fact, now I had him helping me with the timing and when to pull and stuff, but I was thinking to myself, why didn't I kill this all those other times? Like that, I did great. That was awesome. One cool thing about doing an SIV or maneuvers course on a motor is that if you want to, you can just fire it right back up, gain some more altitude, and try it again. So let's do that. Okay, so this is me setting up for my second SAT of the day. Spoiler, nail it again. So here I am pulling the left, and then commit. There it is, lock it in. The wing's gonna flip over, I'm going backwards, wing is going forwards. It's everything that I hoped it would be. Exiting the SAT, I get a little tip collapse on the inside, I guess. I'm not sure if that indicates some sort of problem. I need to do more research. It might just be that I got a really big wing. It's a 28-meter wing. Maybe they're more inclined to collapse because they're lightly loaded. I'm not 100% sure, but it worked out okay. And that was SAT number 2. No drama. This is my third SAT. Now this one doesn't go quite as smoothly. I get locked into a round spiral. And nicely, thank you Chris and gang, I have some video of what Chris Santacroce, my coach, is telling me while I do it. Let's check it out, then break it down.
Harder, and now. Pull. Excellent. Hard outside brake. Let it go straight. Let it go straight, buddy. Let it go straight. Don't carve. Go ahead, make it exit, Woody. Make it exit. That's the outside right brake that you need. Now, gentlest left ever. Gentle. And straight. So hopefully you're doing those last circles for fun and not because you thought you needed to.
Okay, this time we're going to take another look at the same SAT, and I'm going to talk about what I think I did right and what I did wrong. And if you're an expert on the topic, then feel free to chime in. But here we go. Let's break this down.
Harder, and now. Pull.
So when I came into this course, I thought it was the entry into my SAT that needed work. That was in my head because I was having trouble with that on my own. Now, you don't know it, but on some of these SATs I'm doing, he says, Woody, I'm just going to be quiet. I'm going to be here in case things go wrong. You do it on your own. And I did it on my own, and it was great. What I'm learning is that my SAT exits are the things that need some help. Now, he's about to say hard outside brake. And what I'm supposed to do is go up with one hand and down with the other. Kind of like a kayak paddle, right? One hand up, other hand down, splash. What I actually do is something halfway there. I think I go hard with the outside brake, but the other hand doesn't release as completely as I think it should. And I think that's partly why I go from a SAT to kind of a round spiral, which is a dangerous thing that I didn't try to do.
Excellent. Hard outside brake.
See that? Like, even afterwards, I'm still pulling a little bit of outside brake. Maybe I don't know what's in my head. I might just be dumb. I might be doing it because of that deflation I have on that side. But I think the smart move would be to get that brake all the way up and not just most of the way up.
Let it go straight. Let it go straight, buddy. Let it go straight. Don't carve.
So what's going on in my head here is every other sat I've ever exited, it just banged out. You know, I hit that outside brake, I'm gone. And then I had to pull some inside brake so that the carve exits slowly. I don't want to balloon forward like you would a kid on a swing set. Holding that outside brake, though, is stopping me from getting out of the turn. I needed to recognize that sooner.
Go ahead, make it exit, Woody. Make it exit. That's the outside right brake that you need. Now, gentlest left ever. Gentle and straight.
So I think it was those extra tugs on the outside brake that broke it out of the round spiral, because that's what would do it. And the lesson learned from me here is that when I want to exit the spiral, bang that, pull it, don't hold the inside brake at all, make it only outside brake, hold it long enough to exit properly, because if you exit halfway, that's a round spiral, and that's not what you're aspiring to do here. That's not a cool move anymore. That's just the way that people hurt themselves. So anyway, I need to exit with a little more gusto. By the way, if you take an SIV course, I just want to give two lessons to you that I believe in. I'm just an intermediate pilot, ignore as you see fit. But one, wear a camera. I really like being able to do some analysis on the video. This is like the second half of the course, comparing what I thought I was doing to what I actually did via camera. So wearing a camera is great. And then, and this is just according to Woody, I like the camera on your knee. And you'll see in a minute here, riser twists and things. I just don't want my camera to be one of the things that the lines to my wing can get stuck on. And that's why you're getting this angle. One, I feel like it gets my hands and the wing like I want them to. And two, I don't want those lines tangled in my helmet. I think that's a dangerous idea. So that's just my thoughts. So I actually did another sat here, but I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to use it as an interesting backdrop to talk about the next thing, the last thing I'm going to show you. It's a full stall. I watched Max Martini talk about full stalls. And Max Martini is a much more experienced pilot. He's a great acro pilot. And he was saying that you would never do this. I get that. He might be right. I don't know. I mean, I see people do stalls as like part of acro. Some people do it to burn off energy from their huge wing overs and stuff. I don't know. I see it as a thing that people do on purpose. But to me, what the full stall really got me was a kind of recovery and confidence in just how much these wings want to fly. I came out of this course so confident. So like, I had to do kind of a check on overconfidence. And I was talking to Tucker Gott, if you're a Paramotor guy, you know him too. He and I were exchanging ideas, and I was like, man, you know, like there's a point in this next move coming up where the wing is collapsed, my risers are twisted around, and I'm not even worried. I'm just like, yep, I'm going to do kind of a two-stage release out of this deep stall, then I'm going to handle the riser twist, and I'm sure I got this. And part of me worries, Woody, should you be more worried? You know, if I take a 60% wingtip collapse, I'm like, all right, you know, just another day at the office, I handle it. It might be that I should be more scared. I don't know. Like overconfidence, I think is not quite as bad as underconfidence, but overconfidence is not ideal either. I'm still just an intermediate pilot. I come out of these courses thinking that nothing can stop me, and that's not the lesson they're trying to teach me. The lesson they're trying to teach me is that, you know, all hope isn't lost. This is what you do when things go bad. They're not trying to teach you that nothing can hurt you. And I have to be careful that that's not the lesson I take away from it. Fortunately, Johnson, my other friend, helped me out with this. Johnson did the move that you're about to see, a deep stall, and it didn't go well for him. What happens, watch me right now. As he came out, that wing shot forward. And then he landed in that wing and got gift wrapped, right? So he was in the wing, and he talked to me about it like extensively, detailed, play by play. And he told me that he was in the wing, he couldn't see anything, but in his ear, because Chris Santacroce, the coach, is telling him reserve, 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 reserve. And he briefly tried to crawl out or get away from the wing because he can't see blue sky, and you need to throw your reserve into blue sky. But he was out of time. It was time to throw the reserve. So he did. He threw it to just where he knew it was up, even though he couldn't see the sky. And that reserve worked. And he's fine. He got wet. His motor, I think, is a little damaged from the water. It sounds like something's on the bottom end. But the pilot's okay, and that's really all that counts. It was an eye-opener to me that, it's not that nothing can go wrong. It's just that, you got to handle it right to prevent things from going wrong. Anyway, I'm about to do a deep stall. Let's talk about it. So I've already taken one wrap on the brakes so that I can pull them a little farther. It doesn't turn out to be enough. You'll see I'm going to pull this thing, pull pretty much to where my elbows are straightish, and I don't get a deep stall. That in itself was a learning experience for me. So now I take a second wrap around this thing. I pull, and she's stalled. Now this is how I exit deep stalls. I'm going to show you again and again and again. Now I'm not an instructor. I'm not an instructor grade guy. It's just how I do it. I go up. It's kind of a pause with my arms by my shoulders, and then I finish. That little pause gives the wing an opportunity to reinflate to some extent, and then it goes the rest of the way. What you don't want to do is just go from 0 to all the way back up, because if you do that, then it'll surge forward and you'll get into trouble. Chris Santacroce teaches us to kind of come up firmly but progressively, and my other instructor had us do it with kind of a hitch in there, like a jump and then finish. I don't know what's best. I just know that this has been working for me, so I didn't change the recipe. That brings me to this predicament. And what I found, so here I am deep stalled. My wings all curled up like a clover leaf butterfly or something, and I've got a half twist in my risers. You can't tell, but that wing is going backwards and I'm going forwards, or vice versa. The thing is, I'm not worried. I'm cool in this point. And it ties into what I was saying before. I'm not even sure how good that is. Like this is risky business here, to do a deep stall and to take riser twists and things like that. But all that was going on in my head was fairly mechanical. Like, all right, Woody, get this sorted out. Come up with the hitch in your stroke, and then the wing will reinflate. Once the wing is flying, sort out the riser. That's your order of operations, and you'll be good to go. And I was good to go. Everything's fine. I'm just kind of trying to get a grip on risk. And, courses like this give you tons of confidence, but it's really just a couple of flights. You're fundamentally the same person you were beforehand. And I get my arms around that as I kind of digest it over the next couple of days. But yeah, this was cool. Just like I planned. Inflate the wing, spin myself around, which happens pretty easily with half a twist. And now I'm flying again, safe and sound. This was the last thing I did in my SIV course. Actually, it was a day before this that I didn't film. Actually, some cool stuff, deflations and frontals and things like that. I should have recorded it. I should have, and I should have made a video about it. The issue is really that, to me, that stuff is pretty casual, and I thought it wasn't interesting. And then as I processed it, I'm like, wait, that stuff would be interesting to maybe somebody else. But yeah, tying back to the whole thing, 60% deflations, full frontals, things like that. I'm comfy with them now. Maybe too comfy. I don't know. But I'm okay with it. And to the point where I wasn't even sure it made good video. How crazy is that? That was my SIV course. It was fabulous. Once again, I learn a lot, and then I take some time and digest what I learned. Everyone should do an SIV course. I think you'd learn a lot too.
Yeah, multi-million-dollar deals got $1 million deal. When I was younger, I would wonder how $1 million feel. And for real, it feel like I ain't even broke a seal. Cause when you drop hits, they want you to pick up the bill. Now my life is in Maryland, my heart is in Chicago. New York state of mind, but out LA, man, that's where I go. When I need to lay this shit down, so much on my mind, that's the reason I'm spitting now.